anyway.
Right.
That part. Because some people, I just be wanting to cut them off. Like, no, you're a tramp. Just tell us you're a tramp.
Wow.
But I can't say that, because they're the callers.
But what about other things you do?
Stir the pot a little bit when
I don't mind stirring the pot.
What else do I do besides cut you off?
And telling long stories.
Oh, yes, my long stories. Yes, I'll go in comedy mode and start flashbacking, so I got to be careful.
That just a moment ago.
I know I did when I was telling you about that, yeah.
Yeah, because then my mama had said one time.
No, but my son's first words were Wild Wild West. And I thought that was important to what you were saying at that time.
And were you invited into the conversation?
Wild Wild West. That's all I got to say about that.
I'm just asking, were you invited?
No, I'm from the Wild West. I can't help myself. Yippee-ki-yay.
Okay.
I'm a little wild.
All right, here we go. Ladies and gentlemen, tonight's topic. I think tonight's topic is a big, big topic. This is a caller-driven show. The number to dial is 323-230-4610. That's 323-230-4610. Gender maturity wars. An intriguing look into the idea of, if men or if women are more intelligent than men. Eek. Do you think so? Most women I ask say women are smarter than men. I want to hear from the women who think they are born smarter, more intelligent than men. The number to dial is 323-230-4610. I want to hear from the men. Tell us why women could in no way, shape, or form be smarter than us.
I will say this. Men may be smarter, but they're more ignorant.
Whoa. Wow. First off, let me say I'm not fucking peaches.
Oh, damn.
I have to say that because
I'm like, where that came from?
Let me just say, because you just conceded that men are smarter than women. This show is over. Thank you for tuning in to the Voice of Reason. We're about to leave.
But I said y'all more ignorant.
Wow.
It's a difference. Y'all could be smart. Like, y'all apply yourselves studiously to areas. When men apply themselves, when they're studious, they are studious. You're a prime example of that, Zoe.
Am I?
Mm-hmm. I mean, you the biggest bookworm I know.
Really?
And you're not a dork.
I do have a big bookworm.
Anyways.
Womp, 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 womp.
Exactly. All your jokes aren't funny either, okay?
Actually, that was quite funny.
To you,
Would someone like to read my bookworm out there, ladies?
I'm sure there's one out there.
The number to dial is 323-230-4610. If you haven't read this book, come get some of these pages, baby. Okay. We got a great topic. Maturity wars. An intriguing look into the idea of if women are more mature than men. Scientists say women mature faster, but just because you mature faster, does that necessarily mean you have more maturity? You have developed more maturity. And does that head start last for a lifetime? In general, who's the more accountable and or responsible gender? The number to dial, 323-230-4610. I need to hear from you right now. Ladies, do you feel like you're more responsible and accountable than your man? 323-230-4610. Women think they control everything. Women think they know everything, too.
Yeah, we do.
Yeah, you do. Huh? Doesn't that by default make you dumb?
Oh, that's how we do it. We do it.
Hey!
Captain Klinger style.
Listen. A woman will come at a man's neck and be like, nigga, you think you know it all. And that's your problem. That's your major problem. You think you know everything. You think you got all the motherfucking answers. But then turn around and talk to their friends. I run that nigga. He don't even know. I run this whole situation. Everything come through me.
Mm-hmm. But that's because...
And he's a man anyway.
That's because women want control. It doesn't mean like you think you might run some shit, but in all actuality, he's just letting you get away with certain things because he got other shit that he knows.
I am not fucking Peaches.
Why you keep saying that?
Because you keep saying shit that we don't hear women say.
Oh, well, excuse the fuck out of me.
Women don't be saying that. He let me run this. Women don't be saying that shit, especially in mixed company.
Yeah.
You letting it out right now.
I guess I'm talking a little too much, but the truth's got to be told. That's what we're here for, right?
Here we go. True or false? Girls are more intelligent than boys, but men are more intelligent than women. 323-230-4610. Call me right now if you disagree. True or false? I want to hear from women. I want to hear from women. They say brain functionality. Men's brains are more connected going from front to back. Mm-hmm. And women's brains are more connected going from side to side. What is the difference?
Mm-hmm. So we think with our creative mind more?
Girl, be quiet. Don't you just jump into this motherfucker.
Okay.
I'm trying to make you look good right now. You gonna ruin the case for all women out here.
Sorry, girls.
Does that mean we cook grits with margarine instead of butter? What the
No, you
fuck?
use butter. Everybody knows.
Peaches.
Okay.
You
said be good. I'm trying.
That mean we know how to tie our shoes faster.
Ask them questions.
What the fuck is Peaches talking about? Girl, I'm trying to save you now. Does that mean we sleep longer? What the fuck is going on, Peaches?
Let me feel these. Okay.
I had two of them. Don't get it twisted. True or false? Men are wired to focus, Peaches. This is the reason why they are mostly found in leadership roles and can climb the ladder in societal, political, or career situations. If women mature earlier, does that automatically mean that they are also more mature for life? True or false? Oh, this is terrible. This is terrible.
What?
Well, listen. It's hard to look at the IQ score.
Okay.
Because it's created by the system.
True that.
And there's always stereotypes put in the system.
True.
As African Americans, when you're talking about standardized testing or any kind of minorities.
Right.
Well, not any, but specifically African Americans and Asians and brown people. Right? Standardized testing always trips us up.
Yeah, it's not designed for us.
Right. So the IQ is it comes to you from the same people that brought you Jesus and standardized testing. So you have to question that too. Right? You have to question that too.
Right.
Because for many, many years, it was considered that women were at least 5 points dumber in terms of the intelligence quotient, the IQ test. At least 5 points dumber.
Interesting.
Science has already proven that men's brains are 8 to 13% larger than women. But then we have a lot of feminist intelligentsia, academia that says size doesn't matter when it comes to brains. What? So, no?
Size always matters.
I'm just saying. Size matters in dicks, in height, in brains. I mean,
in everything.
I need to know why women believe they're smarter than men. Women, you are more than welcomed to call in and share your thoughts. True or false? Women's brains are wired for social interaction. However, this does not mean that they are more mature than men. Who's more mature, men or women? Call us right now. Who's smarter? men or women. Call us right now, 323-230-4610. Caller, you're on the line. What's your name and wait? Oh, Jesus. Turn down everything in your life. This nigga called from a fax machine. Hang up on him. The number to dial is 323-230-4610. We want to engage you in this conversation. What's the difference between book read and just natural intelligence?
Natural intelligence means that you're a puzzle solver naturally. You just get things. You just have that common sense that you have no problem solving or observing and learning, visual learners. Book read is someone that's just feeding their bodies, feeding their minds with constant information and memorizing it. You're just pretty much like a parrot.
A parrot.
Mm-hmm.
Get your ass up on my shoulder, bitch. I need a reference.
You need a reference.
What's the name of that ingredient you put in jambalaya?
Paprika.
Yeah, thank you, baby. The number to dial is 323-230-4610. Caller, you're on the line. What's your name? Where you call? Okay. You can't call from the sheriff's department, wherever you're calling from. Caller, you're on the line. What's your name? Where you calling from? Caller?
Hey. How you doing, Zoe?
What's happening? Who is
Hi.
this? Who is this? Hello?
This is Tim.
Hey, what up, Tim?
Hi, Tim.
Hey, how you guys doing?
Hey, Tim, give us some good game, man. Who's the smarter gender?
Well, I read a lot, as you know. The bell curve, if you look it up.
I'm clear on the bell curve. I ain't got to look it up. I read too, pimp.
Oh, all right. Well, I'll explain this for your colleague there if she hasn't read it. I'm not sure if she has.
Well, let's ask her. Before we assume, Tim, let's ask her.
Yeah, I'm not assuming nothing.
Hey, have you read about the bell curve?
No, Tim, go ahead.
So Tim was right. Off tops,
Okay.
we're smarter than y'all.
I really
Okay,
didn't
so-
care about the bell curve.
Maybe you should care about the bell
Now
curve.
I will.
Shit. Okay, go ahead, Tim.
If your primary measurement of intelligence is IQ, and men on average have higher IQs than women, but we also have on average lower IQs than women.
Ah.
So where we occupy, in other words, there would be, what's the quote? Like there's sociopaths men, but there's also like hyper geniuses. Whereas women, on the other hand, occupy the middle of the bell curve. Have higher average intelligence, but there's almost no women geniuses, but there's also not many women psychopaths.
So you're saying the trade-off is being uber smart means you're fucking crazy, or being marginally smart means you cool, you can live a good life.
Right.
So like there's not many women out there with like 150 or 160 IQs, but there's also not many women out there with like sub 80 IQs either. They occupy the middle of the bell curve. Men are on the extremes. So we're either really stupid or geniuses.
I could see that.
You agree with Tim?
Yeah, for once.
But
huh?
this is the first time ever.
Yeah, because
Well,
y'all be so smart, y'all crazy as fuck. That explains a lot about you. For
Like I believe the quote is, there would be no Jack the Ripper. The reason there's a Jack the Ripper is because there's a Mozart.
Wow.
Wow.
Something to that effect. I can't remember the quote exactly, but that was a famous quote by Camilla Pagel, I think her name is. She's a famous feminist that thinks feminism is complete horseshit now.
So let me ask you this question. What's the difference between intelligence and maturity? And who is the more mature gender, men or women?
Are you talking biological maturity or?
No, we're talking about cognitive, social maturity.
Social maturity, I'd have to put it to women they're the more socially adept because one of men's strengths is we're hyper focused on individualistic things. So we make great paintings, we build great buildings, we do great feats of architecture. Like those are all done by singular men, whereas women are much more social creatures. So that's usually due because women are the weaker sex physically, so they have to pool their strengths for the community for them to rally around, because they have a more herd-like nature. So that's why you see women with lots of friends and a big support structure, and that's another reason why women's suicide rate after divorce is so low, because they have friends to fall back on, whereas men internalize the divorce and are much more loner in nature, and they usually kill themselves. So women, I would say women are more mature in terms of a social structure, sociologically, but men are more like hyper-focused on singular items. There's a lot of psychological literature out there. Jordan Peterson talks about how men, on average, are more focused on things, whereas women are more focused on people. And you can see this in children, where little boys will be playing with blocks, and like trucks and toys and singular items, whereas women will be playing with like babies and things that are more people-oriented, like dollies and stuff like that.
Okay.
Interesting. This is good shit. Hey, Tim.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Always a pleasure, man, for you to call in and drop a little information. We appreciate the knowledge. Thank you so much for reaching out, bro.
Yeah, have a good night, guys.
All right.
You too.
Wow.
I actually agree with what Tim said.
This is the problem with this intellectual apparatus.
What?
You know, when I talk about like the measuring stick for what is intelligent, for what is mature, and for what isn't.
Okay.
You're asking a barbarian, an intellectual barbarian, that would be this society, to be the judge and jury.
Yeah.
Humans are dumb. All of us, even the high-ranking intellects, are dumb.
Mm-hmm.
I like the way Neil deGrasse put it when he was like, if we were to come in contact with an alien species, don't look at me.
Okay.
What the fuck?
Go ahead.
Turn your ass around. Okay. He said, even if we were to come in contact with an alien species, at the time he said this, the smartest among us is marooned in a wheelchair. Stephen Hawking.
Right.
And he said Stephen Hawking would be like a monkey to to that society's children.
Wow.
Because if you look at the nearest, what do they call it? The nearest galaxy, I think it's fucking Andromeda or some shit, which is hurtling towards us right now at over 300,000 miles per hour. You do know that Andromeda, which is another galaxy that's like the one we live in, the Milky Way, they're going to crash into each other at some point very soon. Well, not very soon in cosmological time, but not very soon in human time.
I can't look at you
like a billion years from now, something weird.
Only you would know that, Zoe.
But anyway, what he's saying is, if they're a million light years away, that means they're a million years more advanced.
Right.
And he was saying we would roll out our smartest person, which at the time, Christopher Gibbs, shut your bitch ass up and learn this information. Somebody in the chat room talking about let's keep it on Earth. That's your motherfucking problem, earthbound ass niggas. Okay, cool. But again, to make the point, he's saying, our smartest person would be like a monkey to them.
That's crazy.
So what I'm saying is, we aggrandize human intelligence as if it's infallible.
Yeah.
We make it seem like we know what we're talking about.
Yeah.
And really, we are totally unaware.
Like our word is the end all be all. No. Yeah, humans.
You get what I'm saying? Like, we have no idea how stupid we are. So then we create all of these metrics to say, oh, well, a man is smarter than a woman.
Right.
Oh, well, a woman is more social than a man. You get what I'm saying? So it's kind of weird because I think our whole system is broken. What I think is problematic here for women, I think society crushes your intelligence and makes you into fembots.
That is true.
That's what I think.
And it's always projected with the you must find a husband in your back of your mind. Like, not this generation so much. The millennials don't think as much as.
Don't tell your age.
Well, I don't care about telling my age.
Well, clearly.
But the millennials don't think about it as much as, say, women in their late 30s and 40s did. They were programmed to think you're going to find a husband by the time you get to a certain place in life. So you only need to achieve this much until this time in your life.
But see, this goes back to my point. Most people, I don't even want to share that just yet. Wait, let me hold that. Let me hold that thought. Okay. Callers! I see you're on the phone. And then you hung up. Caller, you're on the line. And then they hang up. Phone lines.
Now you got to share it.
No, I don't. No, I don't.
Okay.
I'm just saying, I think, because they say women, their brains are more wired overall.
Okay.
The connectivity, they have more connectivity in their brains than men do.
You know why?
Okay,
I'll let you finish. But let me just tell you why.
God.
Because it's like what Tim said. Men are one track. Y'all are thinking.
You mean like you got one track? Keep interrupting. Okay. It's fine. Go ahead. Say what you're going to say. Answer that call, please.
Because it's like what Tim said. You guys are thinking individualistically as to where women, we got kids going on. We got this going on. We got that going on. We working. We juggle a lot. And like you said it before, women are complicated mentally. So we're always thinking about shit we don't even need to worry about. But it's in our nature to worry naturally.
You think so?
I think so.
Your worry makes you dumb?
I think our worry makes us not focus on what we need to focus on singularly, and it might make us look dumb at times.
And down the rabbit hole we go. Callers, you're on the line. What's your name and where you calling from? I don't know where these people are. Caller, you're on the line. What's your name and where you calling from?
Huh? Hey, what it do? It's J-Mo in Tulsa.
Do you believe women are smarter than men or men are smarter than women?
Hi, J-Mo.
Hey, what it do? So I got to say that we're smarter. It's not that they're not smart, but they're not smart as us. And they are highly intelligent.
Validate that. What's your sources? How do you know women are dumber than men?
Who said they dumber? They just not as smart as us. And nobody's saying they dumber.
Not as smart means dumber, right?
No, it don't. No, it's not the opposite.
Less smart is dumber. If you get if you get an A minus and she gets a B minus on the same test, she's dumber.
According to whose standard is that?
According to the standard we have at our disposal. Now, until you come up with a new standard, why are you trying to protect the women from dumbness?
You ain't got to call us dumb.
No.
I'm just playing. I'm just playing. Go ahead.
You can't prey upon those who are programmed, all right? They're programmed more than anything. They fall for the system. They believe in their system simply because based off of their womanness, they always want security. And that's a woman thing. It's not an American woman thing, nothing like that. But they're programmed due to the U.S. system to slave for it, let themselves be preyed upon, let their womanhood be eat up like white bitches do, you know what I'm saying? Then they think they're fighting in their fight or whatever. The thing is, they're not dumb. They're just a little bit more programmed than we are in this shit. We're not programmed. We want to conquer this motherfucker, right? They don't want to conquer. They want to settle within it. But the programming behind it is that they will permit all type of ills to occur with them on their track to success or whatever. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
We tend to take an approach of still wanting to dominate the shit and operate it and control it. Our women don't think that.
Do you believe that Western society created a bunch of stereotypes to ideologically and intellectually lock in the people they oppress?
I don't think not to the people. I think to their own village and their own sector.
No. Go back. Let's talk about history.
Okay.
If white people come in and say, no, we're the Egyptians. No. They just came out with this study.
I just saw that.
They just came out with this study that said the Egyptians are European. But if you read into the article, they're talking about a sliver of time.
Mm-hmm.
Well, during that sliver of time, you motherfuckers came in and took over. That don't mean Egyptians. Do you see? You have to, but the stupid motherfucker who reads at a 4th grade level and 7th grade level does not understand. Oh, they're talking about a sliver of time here.
Yeah.
But the way it's framed in the article is the Egyptians were white.
Yeah.
They were European.
Okay.
Do you see what I'm saying? So again, education is also propaganda. History is propaganda. So a lot of times, and I'm using the example of oppressed people and their knowledge being usurped and assimilated into Western thought, right? And then those people that they got the information from automatically in history get turned into pagans or savages or some shit like that.
Right.
So what I'm saying is I'm using that as example, history as an example to say maybe Western thought did the same thing to feminine intellect.
You know what?
It
makes sense that it would, because they are the ones that told the story about their women, and they always put their women.
Do you see what I'm saying?
In a very negative light. And you see, they use titties to sell toothpaste, so that shows you that, you know what I'm saying, they're not really about preserving their women. It's more on the aspect of preserving whatever, intent that they have for the overall, whatever they feel their overall grade is. But if it will put down their women, they'll do it. So our women latch on to that, and that don't make them dumb. Well, in a way, it do make them dumb. But you want to be, more empathetic in the aspect of the programming that they get is pretty good, because their brains and their spirits have been broken to the point to where they just try to latch on to whatever they felt would hold them on. That's why they do that church shit. They want to believe it. They know it ain't right. They know it ain't true. But they don't have nothing else to hold on to, because society's telling them, go away from your man, go away from being a mother, follow this track of success that's going to leave you empty as fuck. But they don't care, because they're empty inside, much like white people who jump into other people's cultures and shit. They're empty inside, so they have to latch on to somebody else's creativity.
Wow, that's interesting. That's an interesting angle. Thank you, brother. That was a good exchange between you and I. Good call. Callers, call me right now. The number to dial is 323-230-4610. We want to know who's the smartest, most mature gender. Women claim it's them.
We are more mature.
You guys are smarter at outfoxing yourselves. You guys are smarter at lying to yourselves, because every time you pick a fucked up nigga, you turn around and blame the nigga that you picked based off of your criteria. And then somehow you get a whole circle of women to agree with you that it was his fault. Even though your intuition was in play that said, oh, this nigga ain't shit. Is that intelligent?
It's intelligent to know that the nigga ain't shit when you figure it out and leave his ass alone.
How often do you leave ain't shit niggas alone? Or do you wait until ain't shit niggas prove to you that they ain't shit? Callers, you're on the line. Let's go. Who's the smartest or the dumbest gender? Who's on the line? What's your name and where you calling from?
It's Easy from Atlanta. What it do?
Easy from Atlanta. What's your vote?
Hi, Easy.
Men or women? Who's the smartest?
All right, I'm going to roll with men, but it's a caveat.
What's the caveat? 30 seconds or less.
I think the average woman is smarter than the average man, but I think the smartest man is smarter than the smartest woman.
Interesting. A conundrum, even.
Mm-hmm.
Do you agree or disagree with said?
I want him to explain further.
Ain't no female Jesus.
You know what?
Hey,
I had to turn my back to Zoe real quick. Go ahead.
if you just think about relationships and dating, the average woman can run circles around the average dude when it comes to relationships.
But do you know why?
can
Whoa,
get a
whoa,
dude
whoa.
out of
Let me
money,
stop you.
you
Let me
know.
stop you. Let me stop you now.
Okay.
because you're touching on something that's really, really powerful here. Why is that the case? Say more.
I think we have way more, in terms of population, there's very few smart men, I think. But I think the very few smart men that we have are through the roof smart to where we can dominate, the education field, the relationship field, all of that. And even when you think about the pimp hoe scenario, like a hoe is basically smarter than a John, but a pimp is smarter than a hoe. And so I think there's a ton of parallels that you can
okay. See. Let me stop you. Just on intelligence alone. Just fuck men, women, whatever. Just fuck the genders. Just intellect alone doesn't speak in absolutes. Because there's variables to everything. Mm-hmm. I tell my son there's a million right answers and a million wrong answers for every question.
For the same question.
So to frame it as pimps are smarter than hoes, that's speaking in absolutes. Maybe a hoe is smart enough to get with a pimp so she ain't out there by herself getting her ass beat by everybody.
Right. Or getting raped and getting, killed by psychopaths because she has no one.
Do you understand what I'm saying? Like,
that's real.
You can't speak, in absolutes on that. But this is a very interesting conversation.
Yeah, it is. That was deep, though.
Look at the president.
Say again.
Look at the president.
The president
most people might say that Hillary's smarter than Clinton, but is Hillary smarter than the smartest president we've had? Not that they were that smart, but.
Huh. Interesting.
She outsmarted herself out of the presidency, so yeah, she's smart.
I know. We thank you for the call, man. We got to move on. We got the phone lines cracking. Thank you.
Have a good
Callers, you're on the line. What's your name and where you calling from? We want to hear your vote. Who's the smartest gender, men or women? Callers, who's on the line?
I don't know who the smartest gender is. I was actually calling about the maturity part because everyone's smart on their own level and on their, own terms.
Oh, I like your smart answer.
Right.
You little smart aleck. What's your name and where you calling from? Smarty.
My name is Ebony, and I'm calling out of Kansas City.
Ebony, you sound delicious.
Ebony.
Are you chocolate?
No, I'm actually caramel, but yeah.
Ebony, they named a caramel baby Ebony. That ain't smart.
I think she called us before.
What's up, young lady? Talk to us.
I think women are more mature only because we were born to nurture. Men, not so much.
So stop. Slow down. You're equating maturity to nurturing. Yes?
Correct.
Okay, cool. I just, wanted you to hear that. Go ahead.
And not so much, not saying.
There are no wrong answers.
Like that's the end all, be all, because men could be nurturing too.
That's kind of how you framed it. Yeah, but fine. Okay, go ahead.
At times, but I think that women are more mature than men because we have to deal with certain different things that men don't have to deal with on certain, when it comes to life or babies or, just being a woman. Men don't have to deal with what we have to deal with. So that's why I said I think that we're more mature. Now, when it comes to being smart, like I said, everyone's smart on their own terms and their own level. But when it comes to maturity, I think women are more mature than men.
Okay. And your evidence for said assertion is?
Because we were born to nurture. Like men are nurturers too, and when they have to be.
So are the men?
We're born
let me ask you. So the men that are nurturers, were they born with it or no?
No, they were. Most men that are nurturers, they were forced forced to be that.
So you can be forced to be a nurturer.
Yeah, if your baby mama drop off that baby to you and say bye.
And that's where I'm coming from.
Do you know how insane you motherfuckers sound?
I'm just trying to help her out.
Thank you, Ted, for clearing that up for me.
That's
born
peaches.
With like saying, so if a woman sees a dog in the middle of the street, that's hurt and you know is limping and can't walk, we're gonna be like, oh my God, we need to help the dog. But if a man sees that same dog, they're gonna be like, well, forget that dog. That dog is on its own. Like, shoot, that ain't my dog.
And it's a lot of women out here who believe what she's saying makes sense.
I know it is.
Do you listen? Can I just ask you, young lady?
Yes.
Are you listening to the words that are coming out of your own mouth?
Yes.
I mean, like, are you comprehending what you're saying?
Yes.
Are you sure?
Yes.
We have found several problems in what you have said. Are you aware? I'm just saying, are you aware of the problems we've heard in what you said?
The only thing I said is I think that we were born to nurture. That's why we're more mature than men are.
Okay. Well, thank you for the call. We're going to move rapidly away from you and your insanity.
Thank you. And
thank you.
I'm Peaches. Remember that. Or just Donnie. He's fine.
I call you Tiff. I'm sorry, Peaches. I'm so sorry.
No problem.
Maybe the next show should be who is the most petty gender, because Petty LaBelle over here. Jesus. Callers, you're on the line. What's your name and where you calling from? Speak on it. Welcome to the Voice of Reason. I'm him. You're on the line. What's your name and where you calling from?
This is Dallas from San Diego.
Dallas from San Diego.
Hey, Dallas.
You want to take the pimp out your throat, nigga? What's up with the tone? The fuck is going on?
Man, hey, I was born like that. I can't help it.
Hey, this is Dallas from San Diego. You know what I mean?
Right. That was confident.
Now, this is what my issue is. I mean, I really can't speak on who's smarter, but when it comes to the mature aspect, all I hear is women wanting credit for stuff that they should be doing. Like, oh, I'll raise my kids, and I got to raise them by myself. But like you always say, you chose that dude, so I can be mature if you chose the wrong dude, and now you want credit for raising the kids by yourself.
I can fuck with that. That's a great point.
And so what I'm saying is that's just like one example. But, like, I'm a single father. I take care of my kids. I work. I coach high school baseball. I got a gang of stuff.
Let me ask you a question.
Yes, sir.
Do you nurture your kids?
I mean, like, what do you mean by nurture? Like, do I give them hugs or I tell them I love them?
Yeah, all that. Are you empathetic? Are you connected to them empathetically, emotionally, mentally, psychologically? Are you invested in them? Do you feel them?
Yes, I mean, in order to be a good parent, you have to.
Okay, so let's stop right there. Did you take a class at the local community college to learn how to do that?
That is hilarious. God, I mean, look, see, this is the thing. When it comes to like things like parenting, it's all about experiences. And I mean, I grew up in a 2-parent home, and I pretty much just watched how my dad operated. But, I was married at one point, and now I've been divorced for like 8-9 years, something like that. But, I still hold up my end of the bargain.
Right.
How about it? Sounds like, well, let me put it in man talk. Do you give a fuck about your kids?
Yeah, I do.
And did you take give a fuck class? How to give a fuck class?
No,
as a daddy?
There's no class you could take. No, there's no class you could take.
So,
you know what I'm saying? But
so help me understand this, brother, because you down there in San Diego, you a single dad, you taking care of your kids. Mm-hmm. How stupid does it sound? What some of the shit the last caller said in terms of the equation, equating maturity and nurturing, as if like men are not born to nurture.
Right.
Well, that's why I had to call in, because I was just like, this shit sounds crazy.
Then a motherfucker, right? Okay, cool.
Oh man, but see that's my whole point about men being more mature than women, because they have these outlook on life, and it's just like, oh, it's set in stone. It's like, I mean, how can you say that? Men. Or I don't know, man. It's hard for me to like wrap my head around the shit that she was saying, because it's so crazy.
Yeah, that was crazy, man. Yeah. Hey, thank you for the call. We appreciate it.
Thank you.
Welcome to the Voice of Reason, man. We're having a very interesting conversation here with an insane woman To my right, she's a comedian. She's an actress. She has them tig-o bitties loose in the studio today. You understand? She's a nurturer, as you can tell by the size of her gazambas.
That don't have nothing to do with nurturing.
And apparently,
no more.
she's more mature than all of us because she could nurture. Tonight's topic: gender maturity wars. An intriguing look at the idea if women are more mature than men, or men are more mature than women. Very interesting topic. The number to dial is 323-230-4610. Everybody is missing a crucial point.
Mm-hmm.
A very crucial point. I'm going to get to it in a little bit as I take more callers. Ladies, call in. Let me know why you think women are smarter than men. Because a lot of women are calling in and saying, I don't think, anybody could know if anybody is smarter than... Shut the lies the fuck up. Because every time you guys are in your little bullshit sister circles, you motherfuckers are talking about how y'all run shit in your relationship and how you smarter than this man.
Right.
True or false? Men on average are slightly but significantly more intelligent than women by about 3 to 5 IQ points. But then there's new research coming out that is saying women have closed the gap. And women are starting to score higher on IQ quotient tests than men. They're starting to exhibit being smarter in certain areas than men.
Oh, okay.
Saying men got math and science on lock. Women struggle in those areas, but women are starting to close the gap. The number to dial, 323-230-4610. I want to hear from some of those women who claim to be geniuses. You fucking psychopaths. The number to dial. We're here. Let's go. Callers, come to the line. What's your name and where are you calling from?
Colorado.
Colorado, what up?
Hey, Colorado.
Hey, yeah, I just wanted to chime in because I just think it's something missing before you can really get into even dealing with the question about who's smarter or mature. I mean,
just tell us what's missing. Get to it.
In comparison to what is the missing step? I mean, like that caller that previously that called in and said it was sounding kind of loopy. I mean, it makes sense to her comparison. Like, what is she comparing it to? Because she's comparing it to something, and that's what makes it make sense to her. So that's what you got to think before you even ask the question.
This motherfucker said she was loopy.
Right. He made a valid point. Yeah. I love it.
Yeah, I like it. I like it a lot.
That's all I had to say.
We appreciate the call. Thank you, man, for reaching out. The number to dial again, 323-230-4610. This is a very interesting conversation.
Yeah, in comparison to them deadbeats she see across the street raising their kids.
Can I pose this question? Why do women think assimilation into society equates to maturity? Oh, wow. I just thought I'd let that bomb sit right there. Who ordered a hand grenade?
Right.
Do women believe that assimilation into, well, let's just say men and women. Do men and women believe that assimilation into society's norms is a sign of maturity? 323-230-4610. Caller, you're on the line. What's your name? Where are you calling from? Speak on it. Hello?
All right?
Caller?
Hello.
Hell is low. Welcome to the show.
What's going on, though?
What's
Hi,
happening?
caller.
This is TJ. I'm out in Colorado, too.
All right, Colorado, you representing. If you want to bring your city into the building, all you have to do is dial 323-230-4610. Caller, what's up? Talk to us.
All right, so I think what's missing is, I don't think what we're looking at is that the reason that what you're saying with the study, the reason that they're becoming smarter is you got to look at their role and how it's evolved from when it was just men going out in the workforce and all throughout history, fixing things, building things, even being able to read. Now it's single women going out and doing these same jobs. So just like when I first came in the military, we didn't have women in the Rangers and stuff like that. But now that we have more women doing different jobs, I think that's what's bringing their IQ up. But as far as maturity, I don't think there is a difference, but we mature to do what we're bred to do,
and they kind of mature doing something with what they're bred to do.
Got it. Man,
So
I
when you
appreciate that. That's good shit. What else you got for me? Let's go.
So, and then we also got to look at kind of what the other conversation when we talk about the sister circles and stuff like that. When you look at women or men that are raised by women, they have a difficulty adapting to think like men. So maybe when we look at that society, maybe there's a point where the women, especially black women, are evolving past a certain point to deal with issues in this society.
Does Western education make sisters, women in general, smarter than men? Does a great Western education mean that women can overtake men in intelligence?
Definitely.
You think so? You got great faith in the system. Especially, you're just talking about how people are being conditioned by society's rules. How do you exempt education from society's rules? Couldn't a great education also be equal to a great level of conditioning?
Yes, it can.
So
you're evening out the playing field. So women don't have a different exposure to education. So that's what I was saying before, that'll close the gap.
But do you see what I'm saying? We're not talking about education now. We're talking about indoctrination, as Dr. Umar Johnson would say. We're talking about social engineering. We're talking about social conditioning. And there's a difference between social conditioning and intelligence.
But what is the scale? Is it the scale going off the indoctrination?
But that's my point. You just basically said women are closing the gap by getting this great Western education on intellect. We didn't say on education. We said on intellect.
That's what I mean by that is if the judge of what's intelligent and what's not intelligent is based off this Western education, then if they're receiving the same education, then that's where the gap starts to even out.
On paper.
On paper.
Right. Hey, that's a good point. I like it. Yep. I like the way you broke it down. We appreciate it. Thanks, man. Keep calling in, bro.
And then one more thing.
God damn it.
One more thing. And this is something also I don't think we're looking at. You also have to look at other species. What roles are other species kind of playing in different roles in their societies, and what happens when you get different exposures to different things? Does that change the roles? Does that change how different genders act and how they evolved?
Well, thanks for the question, but
he wants to know if the white gazelle is conquered by the male gazelle in the wilderness.
The problem is it's hard for you to quantify that because you don't see the world through the same umwelt as animals.
True.
Right? Humans have a gestalt, and the gestalt is based off of your confirmation bias. It's based off of where you were raised, the education level you have, the trauma you've gone through, the neighborhood you live in. That is our gestalt, our belief systems, familial belief systems, neighborhood belief systems, state, city, country, the whole nine. All of that shit is what makes up how humans view the world, the gestalt. But animals have an umwelt. How the fuck can you judge an animal's intellect if you can't see the world through their umwelt? Now, their umwelt, nigga, what is a python? No. Here's a better one. A pit viper's view of the world. It's intellectual.
I don't think you would use an animal like that. I would think you would use animals that live in similar societies.
Like a dog?
What are you talking about?
That live in groups and packs.
So, again, what about fucking killer whales? They live in pods.
Yeah, dolphins.
Right? A killer whale is technically the largest dolphin.
Mm-hmm.
So what are we talking about? Their brains are bigger than ours and have more convolutions.
Right.
They say women
so when
have.
we would look at what I think in an instance like that, it wouldn't be as detailed as with humans, but we look at, so what role does the male play in that part? And when you start taking them away, then how does the female react? Then how does their spawn react?
But how does that? But you still not connecting the two. How does that relate to human intelligence?
Mm-hmm.
Because if you find that in different species, once you give them different exposures, the behavior change, then it shouldn't be a surprise in the human species. Once you have different exposures, our behaviors change.
But no, that's way too simple. You're simplifying it, and there's way too many more variations to it.
Right.
Oh yeah, definitely.
You're what you're doing is bottom lining the behavior of the animals.
Mm-hmm.
But you don't understand the intellect or the intent behind the behavior.
Right. Because like Zoe said, Free Willy, when his mama got taken, what'd he do? His mama stood out there, and he
This is what
inside.
I want you to do. This is what I want you to do. I want you to go outside.
She wasn't being smart.
I want you to get up from this table and go stand outside. This motherfucker brought up Free Willy. All right, brother. Hey, we got to go.
All right, brother.
This motherfucker brought up Free Willy. Thank you, brother.
Yeah, peace.
God, what the fuck?
That nigga said, I want my mama. I'm just saying, we're a lot different from the animals. We can't think like them. He's still on the line.
Well,
yeah, I'm still here.
He's still on the line because motherfucking Phil ain't hung him up yet. Because Phil on the phone.
I was ready to go.
All right, brother.
Thank you for the call.
What the fuck?
I had to wake up after that call.
So it's generally believed that brains, human brains, or brains in general, that have a lot of wrinkles on it. The wrinkles are called convolutions. The more convolutions, the more surface area on the cerebral cortex. Right?
You
the
know
more,
a lot.
The more surface area, the more convolutions, the more wrinkles, the more intelligent. Go look at a fucking dolphin's brain, or go look at a goddamn.
Don't make me run out of here.
You know what I'm saying? Go look at a killer whale's brain, and you see the convolutions on that motherfucker.
You better watch Blackfish, and then he'll understand them killer whales have a whole other agenda.
I'm just saying, man. Like, people don't understand, man. Like, I'm listening to people talk, and I'm trying to wait to really just pepper jack sauce off on niggas, because I got some shit to say.
Pepper jack sauce.
But it's fine. I'm gonna wait. Do you guys hear? I don't want to give it away too soon. Caller, you're on the line. What's your name? Where you calling from? Caller, welcome to the Voice of Reason.
Hey, what's up, Zoe? How you doing?
What's happening?
Hello.
I guess we got a gang of dumbass women following us because no women are calling.
Women, please
Y'all
call.
scared? The number to dial is 323-230-4610. Go ahead, brother.
Yeah, they scared of calling. Hey, my name is Case. I'm calling from Pennsylvania.
Yeah.
Hi, Pennsylvania.
How you doing? To answer your question about, if women are, being mature, or I guess have a level of maturity in this simulation, or quote unquote, I would say I wouldn't say mature. I guess they are mature to a degree of reaching the templates, going to school, getting a degree, those things. But like you always mention, like you always say, it's not. I don't want to say that you said, but you always quote what's his name? Krishnamurti.
Krishnamurti.
Yeah, you said it right.
But it's not a picture of health to be fully integrated in a sick society. So if they're detached, if someone's not realizing that they're fully integrated into a sick society, and then they're thinking, I'm going to school, or I'm going to get this good job, I'm going to go pick up this trade, and if all those things to the modern people think that's success, then I don't see why that couldn't be viewed as maturity. But if it's if someone's not being, if everyone's not being spiritual, or if they're not finding themselves in being spiritual, then it's somewhat pointless. No, it's not pointless to.
No, you know what's really dope about what you're saying? You might not be the most articulate motherfucker in the world. And I always tell people, just because somebody is articulate doesn't necessarily mean that they're intelligent.
Right, true that.
But you are saying some real intelligent shit right now. Do you understand?
Okay.
It might, you might be mumble mouthing it. I'm thinking you Migos or somebody right now. But.
Yeah, I am struggling.
But what you're saying is actually what I've been trying to get to this whole time. We're an hour and 15 minutes in, and you are the first caller to bring that up. What is that? Everybody else who called in is only talking about social game rules.
Right.
They're talking about societal programming. That's it. Everybody's talking about that. And they're labeling that shit mature or intelligent. No, that is assimilation to ideas your ass didn't write.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
You have no control over where you were born, what government, what country, what religion, what belief system, what family.
Nothing.
So everything you think is mature or intelligent comes from that base.
Right.
So you having a sociology conversation about maturity. This man just said it.
Mm-hmm.
Here's the key. I believe women's minds, the way it's wired, is more contextual than men.
Okay.
Women see context more. You get what I'm saying? But context deals with wholeness.
Mm-hmm.
Wholeness is spirit. Do you get what I'm saying? But what do we do with this context? We turn this context into multitasking in a societal context. Like, oh, well, we can do more things than y'all at the same time. Well, that's a spiritual capacity that's been turned into a societal functionality. Whereas men are more linear and straightforward. How can I help you? What do you need for me to do? Tell me to go here, do this. I got that.
Yeah, we're looking for every part of that question.
Women are seeing shit in context. I would say women are the spiritual conduit to that, or a conduit to spirituality. Whereas men, with their linear logical movement, can actually physicalize spirituality. This is why men go build temples. Women are saying, yeah, okay, the temple is cool.
Yeah.
But you don't need that.
Right.
You know that you are the temple, my nigga.
Right.
But no, we need this building to represent what we've understood.
So you're saying...
That's fine and all, but you do know the hands that built the temple manifested the temple, and thus is the God that the temple represents.
Okay.
Most societies don't have a spiritual counterpart. They have a religious concept in place, a dogmatic concept in place. They don't typically have a spiritual one,
right?
A spiritually contextual understanding of our worldview. It's not in place. So when you talk about maturity, that's maturity. Self-knowledge, spiritual development, that is maturity. But what we've done in this society is turn maturity into a simulation by a certain age. By this age, you should be at this level.
Right.
You should have these things going on.
And by this age, you don't have to work so hard because you'll be married by then.
Do you see? So everybody is trying to judge everybody by the system of oppression, by the system of sickness. This is a broken system that is designed for outcomes. Well, if you didn't reach the particular outcome in this particular in your life, that's because you didn't take advantages that society presented to you. Wait. Hold on.
Right.
Hey, I appreciate y'all. Thanks for taking my call.
Get your ass off the line. Thanks for the information. You want to hang him up, Phil, or no?
Phil is chatting. She must
But
be
do you see what I'm saying? This is why I say women are smart and dumb at the same time. Because you guys are connected in a way to lock in the spirit shit, but you've been pussy whipped by society to judgment based off of benchmarks in society.
But can't you say the same about men, though?
First off, can't you take your fucking time and hear what I'm about to say before you refute it?
Okay.
This is you showing your foolishness in front of the king.
Let me be smart about it. Then go ahead, finish, King.
You ought to take your time and listen to your high father speak to you.
The high father. I'm going to throw this fan at you. The high father. The higher father.
No, but to be honest with you, I think women are a conduit to this spiritual shit. But this society has you so frightened about being able to pay your bills or about being able to be taken care of that you don't even lock into it to the point where you can't even bust a nut. Even when you have a man, it's hard for you to bust a nut because anxiety is built into an outcome-driven society. I don't know if y'all heard that. Somebody meme it up for me. Anxiety is built into an outcome-driven society.
Right.
So that's what you worried about. Can he provide the outcome I want? And although your spirit is screaming at the top of its fucking lungs, hey, we need context. We need someone that can jumpstart our ability to be able to see ourselves better. So we can grow and evolve and then feed that back. All right. It's a lot of, I'm going to start blocking a lot of niggas. These motherfuckers in my chat room are not connected. That's what I'm going to do.
That's why I don't even be looking in there till after.
That's what I'm going to do. Yeah. That's what I'm going to do. The voice of reason is turned up right now.
All the way.
We're talking about women being more mature than men. Is it even possible?
For us to
You guys already think you're smarter than us.
Can I say something now?
Yes, you can.
What do you mean? Is it possible for women to be more mature?
Yeah, I'm asking.
I think women are more mature in the sense of we're more mature when it comes to how we deal with certain things, but that doesn't mean we're more mature on a mental level. I think men handle bad situations better than women. Honestly, I'll just put that out there. I'm probably going to have a lot of women mad at me, but I think men handle strenuous situations more mature than women.
Interesting. Ladies, who disagrees or agrees with that? Because I saw a lady who I was talking to her and she was telling me that her son is being taken to child support court by this woman who is just on his ass.
Okay.
Because the relationship didn't work.
I know a lot of women that do that.
And she said, what happened to the women from the past who just picked up and did shit and took care of it and didn't trip and kept it pushing?
Those women are watching Jerry, Maury.
But before you answer that, the reason why I'm giving you that example just to say, I believe women can deal with strenuous shit too.
Yeah, we deal with certain strenuous stuff, but I think when it comes to like, okay, let's just put it this way.
You're talking about physically strenuous shit?
Not just physically, but in a capacity where, like, say, two of your boys are into it, and men are not going to egg a fight on. Y'all going to more talk about it first. If men come to blows, it's all bad. They just come to blows. It's usually no words passed when men come to blows. When women get into it, you hear a lot of and then it's a fight. And there's no.
Did we need that sound? I don't know. But
I'm just using it. But you know exactly the sound I'm making. That's cackling hens.
Don't do it again. And then there's a second time.
Okay.
Here we go.
But you have men, y'all will handle it a lot more mature. Y'all, I've seen, because I have brothers. I worked in a barbershop. I've watched men talk shit out. Whereas to where on the female side of the shop where they doing hair, it's curlers getting thrown and everything else because there is no talking it out until after the fact, and then it's a bunch of yelling. So I'll say that men handle those kind of strenuous situations better. That's why I don't think Hillary Clinton, in a wartime president would have been a good wartime president.
It sounds as if
because we're more emotional.
It sounds as if Peaches is buying into all of the stereotypes about women. So I'm just going to say, if you're going to buy into the stereotypes, which is fine by me.
Of course it is.
Yo, I'm just saying, don't ever backtrack, my nigga.
Oh, I'm not going to backtrack.
You can't backtrack now. In any conversation we have moving forward, I'm going to say, you can't handle the stress. You fucking weaker.
No,
fall
this
back.
is for today's
and
conversation.
Fuck that. Hell nah.
Look, y'all, we boxing this in for today's
and
show.
See, this sounds like female unintelligence.
Hey,
female ignorance.
That sounds like female manipulation. We're going to box
we're
this
not
in.
Gonna be, no, Peaches. Stop it. Stop it. Caller, you're on the line. What's your name and where you calling from? Speak on it. Hang-ups. Caller, you're on the line. What's your name and where you calling from? Speak on it.
Hi, Zoe. This is Trenton from Orangeburg, South Carolina.
First off, Trenton, I'm going to need you to find a different tone because if you got a kid in your trunk, you sound like a serial killer, my nigga. Hi, Zoe. This is Trenton.
I could be one. You never know, man. I'm just joking with you. I'm kidding.
This is Trenton.
Hey,
hi, Trenton.
And I love toddlers.
Hi.
Okay,
I just wanted to say, I believe, in my opinion, that men are smarter. When you look at the role that we play as far as being the leader of a household, I believe that plays a role in the intelligence. A lot of times people say that women aren't as intelligent, but at the end of the day, women are intelligent. I just believe that it depends on the society we're in. And in the world that we live in today, I feel like women are a lot more manipulated and conditioned to think that because you have a higher education that you're smarter than men. But in the reality of it, things can't be placed on education because to be educated is based on what society is teaching you and showing you in terms of how the society is run. But intelligence, to me, it depends on based on being able to think for yourself and being aware of what's going on around you. So, my honest opinion, I feel like women are also a lot more, emotional. They're a lot more. They have a caring nature to them, but that doesn't mean that men can't be caring as well.
Did you guys know that there was some research out of the UK that said men are more emotional than women?
I could believe that.
Did you know that?
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
I didn't know that. And to be honest with you, I have to look that up.
And they said again,
again,
they said social game rules, society has basically emotion shamed men for centuries. So that they suppress those emotions, but they are as emotional as women, and in some cases more. That's why when the sister called earlier today and said men are not born to nurture, or women are born to nurture, and somehow alluded to the fact that men, have to be taught or forced to be nurturers, was some of the most ignorant shit I've ever heard in my life. Thank you, caller, for the call, man. We appreciate you. We got to go, man. I'm sorry. I appreciate you.
All right, take care.
Bye-bye. You can't let that go, huh?
This nigga was scary. He sounded like Mr. Rogers.
He had that Michael Jackson thing.
It's such a good feeling to know you're alive. It's such a happy feeling. You're growing inside, and when you wake up, early today.
You know what?
I think I'll make a snappy new day.
His sweater just
It's
came
such a
and
good
dug its way out the grave and
feeling.
ran down the
A
street.
very good feeling.
It's a wonderful feeling
A
today.
feeling, you know, that I'll be back
I'm glad you're not
when the day is new.
on a
And
kid's show.
I'll have more ideas for you. And we'll have more you want to talk about.
Yeah.
I will too. Goodbye, neighbor.
He's scaring me right now.
I'm just saying that guy sounded like fucking Mr. Rogers.
Mr. Rogers scared me.
Mr. Rogers was OG.
He used to come in and take off his sweater and shoes and be like, "We're going to have a good time today, kids." That's kind of creepy.
Did you notice how many times you interrupted me while I was singing?
I couldn't help that.
Yeah, you could.
You were sounding like
Is it a
really-
sign of unintelligence that you can't stop yourself?
No, it's just a sign that I'm a woman.
You're emotional about what I'm saying? Because you guys blame everything on emotions.
Hey, Mr. Rogers, creep me out. Sorry.
Ladies and gentlemen, we're having a conversation about who's the smartest gender. Who's the more mature gender?
You just showed us yours.
Callers, you're on the line. What's your name and where you calling from? Jesus. Caller, you got to turn your whole living room down. Your living room is screaming. Caller.
Yo, what up, though?
Okay, what's happening, pimp? You want to fight? What
Nah,
calling
hell
your
no,
deep
man.
ass voice?
Man,
Yo, what up, nigga? What's happening? Oh, okay,
Hello.
Man, this big game from Memphis, man. Hey, I've been listening, and man, what you were saying, you know, more on the natural tip, you know, how you believe women. Hello?
Yeah, we here. Are you
We
here?
listening.
Oh shit, my bad. But yeah, you saying women are like the conduit to the spiritual side of shit,
Yeah.
and I look at like what a woman's body can do. She can create a whole nother fucking human being, something that this society has told us God did, you know, some other being, but a woman can do it. So on the mental level, I feel like a woman can be more mature, you know, if she's in touch with her natural self.
Hell, I think
Yeah.
women have like a superpower if they could like lock into the shit.
Right.
Yeah,
But-
like
but
I'll say,
society-
like my wife.
But I think society's game rules are a major hindrance to that.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. Go ahead, brother. Like you were saying about your wife.
Yeah, my wife, like, she was really into the church and the Christianity thing, but like the moment she got pregnant, she said it's like some other shit kicked in. Like she felt like she had to, you know, switch gears, and she was like, that church shit was just redundant, just the same shit over and over again. Motherfuckers ain't progressing, motherfuckers unhealthy, you know, all kind of shit. So she kind of bagged off of it, got a little more to herself, and we produced a beautiful baby girl.
Wow.
You know, she's super smart, you know, so I feel like the woman is more mature when she's in touch with herself, because I look at the women who ain't, they fucking disgust me, because it's like,
Well, let me
know yourself,
let me help you trim a little of the fat off of that. You're basically saying more mature than the average man, number one, because
True.
I believe when men come into the knowledge of who they are, self-knowledge and awareness, or in a contextual awareness of the universe, then they can meet women at that place. I don't think women are more than. I think they both can access it. They just have different roads to travel in order to do that.
That makes sense.
yeah, makes them more appealing to a nigga like me.
You under dig?
You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just, like you say, man, this is a sick society, and if you follow these society rules, you fucked up. Like,
I got you, man. I got you.
If you think what we live in is it, like, nah, we ain't on the same page. Like,
Well, man, just understand this. If you got a good one, man, you blessed, man. And if she's down with you like 4 flat tires, man, you do the same, man, and keep that shit rolling. All right?
Right,
hey,
right.
for sure,
All right.
for sure.
Thank you.
All right, y'all, appreciate it.
Somebody brought up Krishnamurti. Well, let's do it. The ability to observe without evaluation is the highest form of intelligence. Krishnamurti. If that is true, on the spirit side, I want y'all to think very deeply right now. If that is true, I'll read it again. Quote by J. Krishnamurti. The ability to observe without evaluating is the highest form of intelligence. J. Krishnamurti. Here's the problem with Western thinking.
Okay.
Take the word meditate.
Mm-hmm.
From a Western perspective, it means to measure.
Okay.
This is what Krishnamurti said. From a Western perspective, the word meditate means to measure.
Okay.
I'm measuring my thought. Right? He's talking about the origin of the word and the context of the word. To measure. But from the Eastern perspective of meditation, it means the measurelessness of one. In other words, the source of everything that can't be measured.
Mm-hmm.
One is a feminine thought process, the oneness, the contextual oneness of everything. The other one is a male linear outcome thought process, the Western concept. So now ask yourself a question. The ability to observe without evaluating. You can't even date a nigga without evaluating him. Evaluation is part of the whole movement.
Right.
Who your people? Where you from? What y'all got? Do you have debt? Do you have kids? Do you have baby mamas? Do you got drama? Do you got money? Can you afford a Uber? Can you afford the dinner tonight? Can you, nigga? Everything about our get down is evaluation based.
Why don't we just call it what it is? Judging.
Do you see? So let's go back to the quote. The ability to observe without evaluating is the highest form of intelligence. I made the distinction earlier between dogma and a spirit-based, right? A spirit base. Dogma and a spirit base, a contextual understanding. I believe women have a deeper contextual understanding. Not that men can't get there, men can.
What do you think is stopping men?
What is stopping men and women is the adherence to social beliefs that lock you into a performance-based, outcome-based, transactional relationship movement.
Right.
And we calling this shit maturity and intelligence. You hear women say dumb shit like this all the time. When you ready to settle down.
Holla back.
When you ready to stop playing and get serious.
Yeah.
Well, hold on. First off, that is a social construct. If you listen to most simping ass relationship guru motherfuckers out there, they're all they have nothing spiritual to say. And when they do have something spiritual to say, it is in direct conflict with social game rules. Social game rules say, man, you better feel bad about not being able to pick up the check. Nigga, do you see what's going on with wealth calcification? Nah, I'm going to hold on to these old ass beliefs even though the world has changed. Do you guys understand what I'm saying here? When we talk about fucking maturity, until you ready to settle. Wait, hold on. Do you know anything about a man's biology?
Right.
Do you know anything about a man's sexual drive?
He'll never.
Or do you give a fuck about it and you're trying to just force him into a societal template that's labeled good man? Did your mama teach you how to observe without evaluating?
Hell no.
But you think you're intelligent and mature.
I know I'm mature.
No, sorry.
I'm mature.
That's fine. You're just 5.
I'm mature.
But I'm trying to make this make sense for people so they can understand, like, you have no idea what intelligence is. Intelligence is self-observing, where it is intelligent to be able to look at yourself and critique yourself.
Right.
And say, wow, this is a limiting belief that's holding me back. Let me embrace this belief, unravel the belief, gain an understanding of the origin of the belief. If it's a traumatic origin, heal the origin, and then flower through that event. That's intelligent. But most people don't know how to do that. Most people are stuck in basic, old ideas, concepts, men and women dating concepts, societal concepts.
It's like what Tone Talk says. I don't owe you dinner. I just met you.
But that's a societal concept that conveys a level of maturity to a woman who's programmed. The Western concept for meditation, to measure. The Eastern concept for meditation, that which cannot be measured.
Be measured, right.
So would that not be God if God is infinite? So if you don't have that understanding of God, you may have more of an ideological, dogmatic concept of God, but not an actual experiential understanding of God where you understand God is bigger than the book that spelled out its name.
Right. Much bigger.
Sheesh. The motherfuckers swear they're mature. I can... Callers, you're on the line. Zoe's upset today. Turn your living room down. Your living room has to come all the way down. Your living room is banging right now. Your living room is Soul Train. Your living room is Soul Train. Turn it down. Soul Train. Turn down your living room.
Yeah, turn down the club.
Hello, caller. Caller.
Hello.
Hell is low, goddammit. What you want?
Hi.
Oh my gosh. I didn't think I was going to get through. I was not prepared.
Now you're not prepared. Just like a woman.
Girl, don't let me down.
Now, what's up, young man?
Okay, I just want to speak on if women can be mature than men. Like, let's be clear. We are the ones who have you guys. And I don't think that we ever stop raising you or teaching you or, learning you something.
Hold on one second, sweetheart. When was the last time your man slapped you on the ass the way you deserve to be?
Wait a minute. My 13-year-old son is in here.
That's too bad. This is grown people talk right now.
You got to send him out the room.
See how immature you are? See what you done did? You know what this show is about.
Well, no, he just walked in. Because,
when was the last time you got slapped on that bottom the way you want to now?
Oh, my God. Long time.
All right, then. You sound like it based on some of the assertions you coming with tonight.
No.
Don't let her lie to you, though. I'm smacking that.
I was just about to say.
Hey, you better handle your business because your woman is out of pocket right now.
No, just listen. Just hear me out.
I'm ordering an ass slapping tonight, brother. Get it together.
It takes a lot. Like, okay, when she said men can handle strenuous situations better than women.
Mm-hmm.
There's some catty men out here in this world.
Yes.
They like to get into situations as well. I think that's where they thrive at. When there's situations with men, like, they feel powerful. They have to win.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
There's women, if we're talking about mature women and mature men, like.
But what is your let me ask you, what is mature based on?
Based off knowledge.
What is maturity based on?
You have to, you have to.
Let me ask you this. Let me frame it for you.
Work for you.
Let me frame it for you.
To know how to handle things later.
Ma'am, let me frame it for you a little better.
Did you say ma'am?
Is maturity based on accountability and responsibility?
Most definitely.
And you are going to go on record and say women are more mature than men?
Well, it also depends on the situation. She brought up, handle strenuous situations like women to go cackling like hens, but not if they're mature.
But don't you see the flaw in the logic? You can't be at the yoga spot on Saturday, namasteing, but be imbalanced in your belief system. To say women are more mature than men is an imbalanced statement to begin with.
No. See, I'm not saying that we are mature, but we can be. But I'm just saying men and women, you have to go through some things and grow. It's a learning situation.
But it's a learning situation for all involved.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
And what you're here to learn may be, and in most cases, more different than what I'm here to learn.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Right.
So just because he didn't get the lesson you got doesn't mean he didn't get a lesson that was tailor-made for him.
Right.
No, but it also depends. Right. It depends on the situation. Because let me just say, like, my husband grew up in a household with his mother and his father.
Mm-hmm.
And I did not. I grew up with just my mother.
Mm-hmm.
But it didn't take me to see my husband and be like, oh, what can you do for now? Actually, let me change that up. It did, because he was kind to me. Now, mind you, I'm my husband's first everything.
He's gonna put his shit out like that?
No.
Did you guys have a conversation about that before?
No,
I'm just playing. Go ahead.
Everything. So his first everything. And it took for me, as a person that has been through relationships before, to say, like, oh, this, the way he treats me, the way he treats his mom, it matters. So you have to assess certain things, because, and then there's a bunch of damn liars out there. You'll get one that sit there and want to act like they want to offer you the world. And then when you get, when you get with them, it was a lie.
Wow.
But he was kind to me. He was nice. He was kind to his mama, his sister. I'm like, oh, wow.
So let me ask you this question.
Seems like a good guy.
Let me ask you this question. Is maturity based on treatment and kindness? Because clearly it is to you.
What I'm saying is that...
You going to answer the question, or are you going to move on?
Okay, what did you say?
Oh, you didn't even hear it. Wow.
Okay, what did you say?
This is amazing.
Repeat it. Kindness. Okay, just
I said, do you define maturity as kindness, right? Kind behavior, period.
It can be, because where did he learn that?
Okay. But that's your definition of it, and I understand it, and I appreciate you calling and sharing this information. We've got to move on. We've got callers. I thank you so much.
Thank you.
And tell your husband I said, slap it.
Slap it hard.
Do you guys see? Do you guys see? I'm pointing this out.
Mm-hmm. I heard her.
Do you guys see what's going on here? And you're like her. Most of the women in here are like her.
A little bit.
And that's the whole purpose of this show, is to put you in front of your ideological bullshit, your BS.
Mm-hmm.
You hear what people are calling? Because you do this for me.
Right.
That means you're mature.
And she said she was his first everything 3 times. And, if I give you a Ritz cracker and you ain't never had a cracker before, that cracker gonna be real good.
How come matureness is not defined as awareness? Awareness of self, awareness of relationship to others, awareness of relationship to the earth, awareness, consciousness. Why isn't maturity defined as consciousness?
That would be nice. It should be. I think it's self-mastery, like you said before.
Why isn't maturity equated to self-mastery?
That's what it is. Self-mastery. You've mastered your emotions. You can control your emotions. You can control your attitude. You can control you know, the outcome of your day by your attitude, how you treat others. You can have a great day even if it's a bad day, just in how your attitude is. So it comes with it comes with a lot.
It's crazy, man. Callers, you're on the line. What's your name? Where you calling from? Welcome to the Voice of Reason. Caller.
Hey, what's going on, bro?
What's happening, man? Who is this?
It's Wes from Dina.
Hi, Wes.
Wes from Dina?
Yes, sir.
Pasadena, nigga. What's happening?
What's poppin', sir?
They don't even know what it is, nigga. They don't know what Dina love. I'm sorry. I'm going to tangent.
Yeah, okay. We know you're from Pasadena.
What's happening, pimp?
Not much, sir. But I think we got to look at it at different stages because a lot of people base it on education. But and especially with a lot of women, once they get a degree and everything else, but they don't educate themselves in other facets of life besides the books that they learned or the degree that they received. Also, too, is that mature if you're still watching Power? What's some other shows? Those reality shows with
you already know
the hip hop bitches. Yeah.
Yeah, you already know. You already know.
Yeah, and you can tell me, and they can tell me about every last thing about these other people, but haven't even recognized the issues in themselves. And the same thing with men too. You know, niggas be out there on that bullshit, but want to blame everybody for their issues, but don't want to look at themselves and learn themselves and read a book and try to develop their another sense in them, their spiritual aspect of themselves.
Right. Hey, man, I appreciate the information. You brought Dina into the building. Good looking, homeboy.
Thank you for calling.
Yes,
shit. Oh, man. I love it, man.
We're getting a lot of different insights
and
into
a lot
this.
of women, y'all not representing you. So.
I know. Y'all leaving me hanging out here. Sisters called. Dana, you ain't called in either yet.
No, Dana said she tried to call in.
Oh, she did. Okay. Yeah, because I would like to hear from more women about this because we're hearing from a lot of fellas.
Robert Anton Wilson, another one of my favorite authors. Author of Quantum Psychology and Prometheus Rising. Belief is the death of intelligence. As soon as one believes a doctrine of any sort or assumes certitude, one stops thinking about that aspect of existence. Robert Anton Wilson.
And he said Prometheus Rising. He wrote that?
Yes. I want you to hear that quote again. I don't know what Peaches was just talking about. It's fine. Just extra words. It's fine. Belief is the death of intelligence. As soon as one believes a doctrine of any sort or assumes certitude, one stops thinking about that aspect of existence. Now, this is what kills women's ability to be intelligent in relationship.
What?
Certitude comes from your standards.
Explain.
Most people treat their standards better than they treat the person they're in relationship with.
True that.
I don't know how niggas felt about that. I don't know.
I think I think I have to agree with that. I don't want to, but I do.
Why don't you want to?
Because I feel like that men have certain standards too. And you guys are more about, when it comes to your women, it's a social standard with you. You're not going to bring a semi-cute girl around your friends like that.
Well, we will get clowned for semi-cuteness.
Yeah, you guys get. But see,
look at Phil. Phil is like, yes.
A woman will bring a ugly nigga around if we like him, and you gonna accept his ugly ass. That's the way we feel.
This is Lord Mfufu.
Yeah, with the standards are y'all have y'all standards too. So
he is a billionaire.
That's why I say women are more mature in certain areas, because men are immature in that area to where y'all care what the guys around you think.
No, you just made that sound mature. But if the intent is I'm gonna date his ugly ass because he has resources,
or you might just like
that
his
makes
ugly
you
ass.
a fucking scavenger.
Or she might just like his ugly ass.
I'm just
Some
saying,
people like ugly people.
I'm just saying, intelligence speaks to multiple lanes. It doesn't just speak to one lane. You made it seem like, oh, well, that's what makes us more mature because we'll date an ugly guy.
I had to try.
Yes, to try is to fail.
Fucking smart ass.
What the fuck is going on? Caller, you're on the line. What's your name and where are you calling from? Turn your life down.
My life is down.
All right, what's happening, pimp?
Hello.
This is Steven from Denver, Colorado.
Denver, Colorado in the building. What's the word?
And not much. How are you doing, Peaches? So,
hi.
Hey, really my take on it as far as the maturity thing with men and women, really it's more of a question for you, Zoe, is like if you're with a woman, let's say her sign leans more to the social nature. So she's really like a social woman. She has friends. She's in that love and hip-hop type dynamic. And like you just said, in terms of like where people are treating their standards better than they're treating the people they're with, how do you deal with people who their signs or their aspects of life is already catered to a social dynamic of where my friends are a little bit more important than anything else. My social life is more important than anything else.
But that's all.
I don't feel
but bro, I hear what you're saying, and that's all shit to be grown out of.
Mm-hmm.
I hear what you're saying. That sounds like a child to me.
Yeah, that's maturity.
But that's all stuff to be grown out of. You can grow out of all of that shit. You feel me? All of it. So yeah. I get what you're saying, but that's something to be overcome. That's not something to be concretized. Yo, brother, I appreciate the call. Thank you very much, man. We got to go. We at the end of the show.
Tell him your coaching stuff because he sounded like he needed coaching.
No, he didn't. He didn't want no coaching.
Give out your coaching information.
Just go to my website and click coaching.
You never say that enough.
IamZoeWilliams.com. If you want coaching, coach.
I've given out your email for coaching.
You. I appreciate it. Go to my website, IamZoeWilliams.com. Let me say this. Mimi isn't here because Mimi is in the Dominican Republic.
She pottying with Dexter.
Yo, I got love for everybody who tuned in. We'll be back Monday with another fire. What else do you want? Shit, I can't end the show.
Real quick, okay. If y'all in LA tonight, come on down to the Pleasure Blues and R&B Lounge somewhere on Manchester. I'm doing a comedy show. Go to my Instagram, DAUGNEKEITH.
There it is. Hey, I appreciate everybody. We'll be back Monday with a new topic. Thank you for tuning in this week. Zoe Williams, the voice